Hi. In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how easy it is to build a very basic application in Formbird. Formbird is a rapid application, low-code development environment that really lets anyone build web mobile applications instantly. Head on over to formbird.com and give it a go. So I'm assuming that you may have got here already, so let's go ahead and build this basic application. Simply click on Try. Here we have details, including this video, of how to build a very basic form. To do this, we navigate to our demo.formbird.com application. The demonstration environment lets you create a user, log in, and create a very basic application, or even a complex application. So let's go ahead and do that. So simply navigate over to demo.formbird.com. If you haven't created an account, you can create an account from Create an Account. After creating an account, you'll receive a verification email to verify your email address. Head on back, log in, and away we go. So let's give that a go. I already have my account. On logging in, you'll be presented with a Welcome to Formbird screen. Here we have a Start Building Now button. This simply takes us to what in Formbird speak is our template editor. The template editor permits us to build templates which then render forms. A form a complex application can be made up of navigation forms, data entry forms, and data presentation forms, or any combination of that. And it's really a HTML active application that you can build very, very complex applications, starting with something as simple as this very basic contact form that I'm going to generate now. So let me go ahead and enter the template editor. Here we're presented with a blank template. What I'll do is I head back over to Try, and under Try, you'll see that there are some instructions here, all these instructions about performing this action. What I'm going to do is going to copy and paste a very basic contact template. So this is defining a contact, which is really name and address details. I can attach images, and I can do various other things. In Formbird speak, we have a template which defines the form. We then have components, and each of these components are functional and data elements. I've simply built this template. I've placed these details in here, cut and paste. On saving, I've now created a very basic template. This is now a totally active application. I can now save and enter data in against that. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's just enter a mobile number or cell number. I'll put an address here. I've now entered some very, very basic details that constitutes John O. Smith's details of a contact form. On hitting save, I've now created a form, entered some data, and now that is totally live in Formbird in this demonstration application. It's been fully indexed as well. So let me head on over and demonstrate accessing that record on my mobile phone. So I'll head on over. I have a simulator connected here. Log into the mobile phone here. It's actually sitting on my browser already, so I've just gone to the browser. I've connected to demo.formbird.com. Similarly to the desktop, simply log in. Okay, I'm now logged into the same application, the same environment. I can now look for Jono, who I created, and now I have a fully functioning application. What I can also do is not just view the application. I may in fact do something like attach a photo. Part of what I put down on that template was what we term the uploader. I can now take a photo. That photo is now sitting. I can now press save, and that instantly appears and push through to that document or that record. So in those few minutes, I've created a template, I've defined the template, and I've actually run it up on my mobile phone, creating a very basic web mobile application with a contact. I've also created some data. Now, if I wanted to go ahead and modify that existing template, There is instructions down the bottom here how I can get back to that template. What we use here is what's known as our template override, which means we're pushing one document, which is the template, into another template. In this case, it's the template editor. So if I go back here, select new, which is now defined by that template there, which is that document ID, put the slash after it, I'm now back into that template. I can now do things like change the label on that title role. So let me try change that. I can also make that mandatory. And in fact, I've decided that I want to make that full width. Once I've saved that, that is now live in the system. I can go back to the, I'll actually just simply preview it. I can now see that that's been updated. If I go and search for that existing record, that existing document, you can see now I've modified and changed the functionality of that template. Now, it's a little bit laborious, requiring that cut and paste. So what we have included is a little bit of JavaScript here that can be included into a bookmark on your browser to simplify that. So let me demonstrate that. So simply create a bookmark. So in this case, I'll call it Formbird FB template editor. I'll put it onto my bookmark bar. Just put it there. I'll now go and edit that. And what I do is I replace the URL with that piece of small piece of JavaScript, and I'll explain what that does. From there, I can now go and do the same as I did with the cut and paste. I now have that template up. I now hit template editor. I'm now able to go straight in and edit with a single click. Now similarly, I can review the data that's actually been stored in the database. So if I go back to my document here, my record, I can also hit the template edit again and look at the raw data. So there's Mr. John O. Smith, there's the mobile number, etc. So I'm changing from being a developer to a user and using the actual application. So I can move from there, building out more and more and more complex applications, from a single form to maybe 100, 200 forms and many other functional capabilities. Now let's say I wanted to add a checklist to that template. Head on over to our Docs website. You can go to the components list here. Here we have, for instance, the checklist. Very simply, we've got a quick go-to of typical definition. I can now grab that definition, so again copy. I can head on back to my template. Now let's say I wish to put that just underneath the name. Simply paste that in. You can see it's going to be a checklist, a SC, standard component checklist. It's going to be stored as SC checklist, and that's going to be the title. So let me change that to demo checklist. Now let's also make it full width so it takes up a complete line. So again, we just go full width, we put true, and we hit save. I can now return back to the form, refresh, and it's as simple as that. I've just included a checklist on that form, again, all within minutes. I now have a fully functioning form that is operating on my mobile phone. It's operating on my desktop. I can enter data. Add to home screen. Go add to form, add as an icon. I can now grab that, drag that to my desktop. I've now added. This now behaves as though it's an application. If I open that, it'll go straight into it, take up the full screen, and I now have that contact form up and operating. If I can now search and locate that data. I hope you've enjoyed that. Please give it a go. Head on over to formbird.com, select try, and then go and log in and create an account at demo.formbird.com. Have fun, enjoy it.